Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off the mandatory payout 50-cent pick 5 at Saratoga on Travers Saturday with grade 1 stakes action. Here's the Forego, some nice sprinters going 7/8 of a mile. It is race number 8. Wide open race, I think, Mike. You've got your usual hard-hitting group in here. You've got last year's Breeders' Cup Sprint winner Whitmore. You've got Lexitonian, who pulled off a big upset in his most recent start at Saratoga. Forego Fire, Mind Control. Mischievous Alex has to prove that Carter handicap win 3 starts back wasn't a fluke. And Illman, who's lightly raced, coming off of a prep against only 3 others at Pimlico. You can go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, it sort of feels like, as you've already laid out, you have these horses who have, sort of been around in this division for a while. Whitmore, Mind Control, Forego Fire. You're almost at the point, I guess, where you want to start looking for new faces in this division. Maybe that new face is Illman as the morning line favorite. We'll see.
Let's start the Timeform US Pace Projector. They believe Illman can clear off in a favorable situation as he did last year when winning the Amsterdam. I wonder if Arad Ortiz will try to use Mischievous Alex's speed from the rail a little bit more. And I wonder if Lexitonian has just found his new running style under Jose Lezcano, and he'll be hustled out of there as well.
Yeah, I think both of those things are possible. Lexitonian's, he's not the most consistent horse in the world, Dan, but I do sort of feel like maybe they've, after that last race in particular, maybe they've just decided that they got to get this horse forward in his races. I don't see why they would change it as he comes off of a grade 1 win.
Mischievous Alex ran a 109 Beyer speed figure when whipping Mind Control in the grade 1 Carter handicap the last time he raced at the 7/8 of a mile distance. I know, Mike, you've been very dubious about that race overall and that number. So far, you've been proven right. He ran okay when third in the Met Mile. Last time out in the Vanderbilt, could you find an excuse?
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened last. I mean, listen, I didn't like him last time as the favorite, but I didn't expect him to run that poorly. He was in a really good spot, all alone, sitting all alone in fourth as 3 of them contested the pace in front of him. And he just came up completely empty in there. Listen, I'm not a fan of this horse. I know he's better than that. And I guess it's a little interesting that they come back right back in another grade 1 with him. I'm assuming his connections think he had an excuse last time.
Whitmore won the Forego in 2018. He won the Breeders' Cup Sprint in 2020, and he has run well without winning this year. Third behind Lexitonian last time out. He was kind of down towards the inside in the stretch. Once he got out in the lane, it looked like he was running on at the end. If this pace projector is correct, Whitmore might be in a little bit of trouble, but I think he's in deceptively good form. And as we always talk about, he never gets the respect he deserves at the windows.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, he ran fine last time. At the end of the day, I guess it just wasn't really a race that was coming back for the closers. The 1-2 finishers right up there on the pace the entire way. Whitmore made a pretty game run there once he angled to the outside. I thought he was a good third. I was a little bit more disappointed in his race 2 back in that grade 1 on Derby Day, where I just didn't think he had any excuse not to win. And of course, he was behind Lexitonian again that day. Listen, he could win this race. This horse has been around for a long time. He won this race in 2018, and he's still competing at the top level.
Let's watch Lexitonian's upset victory in the Vanderbilt. He went off at 34-1 that day. He was very aggressively ridden from the inside post. He takes a good punch from Special Reserve on the outside, and I think everybody was just waiting for Special Reserve to go by long shot Lexitonian. He has a brief lead on him, but Lexitonian shows a lot of determination, roaring back along the rail to win. You see Whitmore eventually easing off the inside to finish third. A lot of heart shown by Lexitonian.
Yeah, game effort here to fight back. Again, you can just see that those two are up there. Nobody really doing any closing in the race, Dan. So maybe in some ways, Lexitonian, even though he was sent up the inside, just had the run of the race there. But, you can start taking his PPs apart, too, and look at all the grade 1 sprints that he's running. That upset win right there, a close second on Derby Day at 46-1. Just missed in the Bing Crosby last year in another grade 1. I mean, this horse tends to show up when the money's on the line.
Trainer Todd Pletcher skipped the Vanderbilt with Mind Control and is going to run here fresh off of another game performance. This is a millionaire, and he looked good winning the Neyroute over Forego Fire on the 4th of July. Let's watch that effort right now. And again, it was a race for the 2 kind of horses to beat. They were up close to the pace throughout. Forego Fire is on the inside. Mind Control is on the outside. They're 2 very game horses. They throw it down away from the rest of the field. Mind Control got ahead in front. Behind them, I'm not sure if it was a really strong race, but again, another game performance, and nice to see Mind Control get back into form.
It was. That was first for Pletcher. He did get back on the beam there and ran, one of his good races. It's interesting that he's a multiple grade one winner with all of these, nice races in his past, and he still hasn't broken through to a triple digit buyer, which feels like he's probably going to have to do to beat this field, but he was good last time. It was nice to see him get into the winner's circle again. I didn't love him, Dan, especially if he was going to be, around that 7-2 morning line, but I won't be shocked when he runs well.
Doubly Blessed has won 4 races this year, including his most recent effort over Sloppy Going. Let's watch that race right now on May the 29th as he goes through his 2 other than condition. As you see, the track is very wet. He was able to stay close to a reasonable pace. He finishes it off. Now, this is going to be his first start against truly top-class horses. He was listed as a vet scratch on July the 4th. It's very interesting that Michael Maker picked this spot.
It really is. This horse has really been in good form. He just must have fooled Maker when he first took over, Dan, because they kept this horse on turf for a while, and they were running him very cheaply without any success at all. And all of a sudden, when they switched him to dirt, this horse perked right up, and his form really has turned around. He's obviously a much better dirt horse. I really liked that last win from him. I don't know if this is the spot, but I found him to be mildly interested in here as a long shot.
8 starts around 1 turn, 4 wins, 4 seconds for the 6 Chancet, who's going to be a big price on the tote on Saturday. Let's watch his effort in the Smile Sprint at Gulfstream in early July. Not a ton of pace for him to rally into here, but he is going to come running for second. Only a 92 buyer speed figure. His numbers are a bit light. He has some upside potential, but he's really going to have to pick it up for a Saffie Joseph barn that's had some struggles this meet.
Yeah, they are struggling at this meet. We'll see if this horse can take the step forward that he needs to take. All in all, I think he's run fine in his first 2 starts back from that really long layoff. I guess he had potential as an early horse. He did run a very fast race back in January as a 3-year-old. I didn't really know what to make of him, Dan. I'm not going to bet him in here. I'll be very interested to see what he does.
Yaupan won the first 4 starts of his career, 2 against 3-year-old only competition, including the aforementioned Amsterdam. And off those races, he was the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He didn't run particularly well in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He didn't run particularly well in the Dubai Golden Shaheen. But Steve Asmussen picked a great spot for his comeback from the Middle East. Let's watch his effort in the Light Diffuse. He caught 3 overmatched foes. He was 2-5. And I think this was a good prep because I think he had to work a little bit on the turn chasing, and eventually he gets away with a respectable buyer speed figure. Now second start back from that trip overseas and perhaps the controlling speed, he's somewhat dangerous.
Yeah, he is. I mean, listen, he ran fine in here. This was, as you said, it's a great spot for him. Laki, the horse that's second to him, is really nice. He's won a lot of races. I wouldn't be betting Laki in this race. And the horse that finished third there was Chateau, who we all know from his exploits as a claimer in New York. I don't know, Dan. I get that he's the new face in here. I get that he's lightly raced. Maybe he'll make the lead. Why am I supposed to like this horse? He was okay as a 3-year-old, easily exposed at the Breeders' Cup where he somehow went favored. Terrible in the Golden Shaheen. I don't know. Maybe he wins as the favorite. I wouldn't bet this horse in a million years.
And Forense Fire, 14-time winner, Mike. This is a horse that we know could win a race like this. He's banked $2.5 million in his career. And in the Vanderbilt, to me, I just think several things went wrong in that race. From a trip standpoint, you could easily maybe take him as kind of the excuse horse out of that race.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it's kind of how I looked at it, if only because I didn't know what to do in here. And, of all the horses who I feel like, have a real chance to win, he's just feels like he's just going to be the best price, Dan. He didn't fire his best shot in the Vanderbilt last time. I don't know why. He was out on the outside off the pace all the way. It briefly looked like he was going to run in the stretch, and he just didn't really fire. That he's better than that. He's got several races that say he's way better than that. And if this pace is indeed slow, and there's a chance that, they aren't really going up front, this horse, he doesn't have to be that far away. I like that he's drawn to the outside. I'm just going to give him one more chance in here, Dad, because I didn't know what to do in here, and I know I don't want the favorite.
I think that's an excellent point, Mike, about where he could be in the early portion of this race as we take a look at our top selections, because we know that Forense Fire, even though he's rarely on the lead in his PPs, he has a very underrated break. He usually breaks very sharply, and they like to take him back, sometimes to get to the outside. Here, breaking from the outside, if he breaks alertly, I honestly believe he'll be sitting second off Yopan unless something crazy happens and Lexitonian and mischievous Alex goes, and he should be a strong threat turning into the stretch. I know you're not a Yopan fan. I'm taking the tactic that, yeah, he is in the new face. He has some upside.
Yeah.
He's fairly lightly raced. I'm not sure we've seen his best race yet. I hate his price on the morning line, but I think he's going to be tough to catch. Firenze Fire, boy, you get 6-1. I think you're supposed to go right to the window.
I'm just going to take it. I don't think I'll take it with a ton of confidence, but I'll just take it and hope that he runs his best race. I think your thinking on Yaupan is totally legitimate, Dan, and it's a very valid way to look at the race. I just don't like that horse, and I don't want to bet him at a short price.
8274, 7354. This is going to be, I think, one of the more intriguing races on the entire Travers Saturday card because you have 4, 5, 6 horses in the field that could easily win the Grade 1 Forego.